Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I am going to address the question of can my hypothyroidism be reversed? And I can tell you from the outset that the answer to this is yes and possibly. So stick with me to the end of this video and hopefully we get that question answered. My name's Scott Resnick. I am a medical doctor. I'm making these videos because I want to give you the tools to make the best decisions possible for a long and healthy life. So the best way to address the question of can my hypothyroidism be reversed is to ask another question. And that question I would ask of you is, what is a thyroid gland for? Because when you understand what a thyroid gland is for, then you can begin to reconcile whether we can turn around low thyroid function. So throughout our history of being on the planet, I would venture to say that the human animal has not been afforded the luxury of having all the food that we could ever want. So our body and our physiology is dialed to be able to burn the fires hot when the resources are available and they're good, but we also need to be able to tamp those fires down and be a little more resourceful with our resources when we are not able to eat as well. So when the human body is subjected to periods of starvation, stress, or infection, we move towards a more hypothyroid state. So instantly we can see that if you are in a nutritionally deficient state or you're under excessive stressors, yes, when we can turn those things around, we can improve your thyroid function. Now, in terms of nutrition, our body needs basically three components to make thyroid hormone. The backbone of thyroid hormone is an amino acid known as tyrosine, and this is one of these conditionally essential amino acids. It means that for the most part, our body is able to make as much tyrosine as we need, so typically that's not a limiting factor. We also need iodine and selenium, and there are parts of the country where people's diets are pretty significantly deficient in these nutrients. Now, if you live in the Midwest, the breadbasket of the United States, a lot of people in these regions are actually iodine deficient because the soils have been depleted of iodine. In the Northeast, in New England, we see people who are deficient in selenium. So instantly we see why I answered your question with yes and yes. If you're under a significant amount of stress, or if you've subjected yourself to some nutritional deficiencies, these can be turned around and you can improve your thyroid function. The last subset deals with a group of people who have been exposed to an autoimmune condition which is known as Hashimotos thyroiditis. This is a process in which your body is making antibodies to your own thyroid gland, and over time healthy thyroid gland tissue is replaced with scar tissue. So somebody who's had Hashimoto's thyroiditis for a long period of time or very aggressive disease may not have residual thyroid gland tissue to actually make the thyroid hormone regardless of their nutritional status or their stressors. But if you're someone who has mild disease and is subjected to a high degree of stress or any of these nutritional deficiencies, these are things that you can turn around to improve your thyroid function. In subsequent videos, I'm going to be getting into even deeper, greater understandings of how these different systems relate to one another. So if you like these videos, subscribe. If you have a comment, a request, a suggestion, please leave those in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.